Hi everyone, I'm joined today by Piotr, who's one of our very talented SEO managers here at Reef. And today Piotr's going to answer the question about, do you have any predictions for voice search in the SEO industry in the next 12 months? Voice search is quite a hot topic at the moment, so it would be interesting to hear your thoughts on this.
Hey Scott, how's it going? Thank you so much for this opportunity. And yeah, definitely I'm happy to answer this question for you. So overall, my kind of thoughts and predictions are based on a few factors. Now, one of them that I'll cover off straight away is just the sales of wireless headphones and I guess I would say speaking devices such as, Google Home hubs, etc. So what we've kind of seen over the last year or two from 2018 and 2019, there's been a big jump in headphone sales. And you may wonder, why is there kind of a correlation between headphone sales and voice, for example? What's interesting is with a lot of new headphones, they do have either a native Google or Alexa kind of built into it, or Siri, depending if you're an Apple user. And what we've kind of seen is from 2018, there was about $22 billion US in global sales of these headphones. And now in 2019, it's gone up $26 billion. And with a lot more people using these devices, myself included, and I'm sure you listeners out there as well, and definitely I feel that a lot more people will start to use these types of inbuilt native features because it just makes life easier. So personally myself, when I've got a pair of new Sony wireless headphones that integrate with the Google Assistant naturally onto my phone if I'm listening to something, it just makes things so much easier if I can just ask for the weather, ask for the time, or ask different types of questions that, I feel that I could ask during the day. Whether I'm cooking something, I can ask for a recipe idea, or if I'm entertaining, I can potentially sync it up with, an in-house light device that could move things around. So definitely I see a lot more people using these integrations because they're becoming more and more prevalent. And I think over time, as users get more accustomed to it, it's just going to become the next norm. Because back in the days when you kind of think about it, people searching on mobile phones, that wasn't really normal when it first came out. Everyone was searching on desktop devices. Then as mobile phones became more popular and just more accessible to everyone, you saw mobile phones also increase. I feel voice is going to become filling in that gap down the line.
Cool. There's always a clear trend between the easier it gets to complete a task, in this case voice search, then the more user adoption you tend to see. So there is one stat that was kind of doing the rounds, and that was about voice search being up 50% in 2020. So what you're laughing at that. So yeah. What's your thoughts on?
Well, when I first read about it, this stat came up about, I would say, from memory, either late 2018. Definitely it was making the rounds in 2019. For a lot of other listeners out there, definitely if you came across Search Engine Land or something like that, where it was a big publication talking about the statistic, what kind of happened was, it was kind of a misnomer. It was a quote from a Baidu search engine specialist that was basically stating that it would be 50% voice search, but that would include an inbuilt native desktop search with the ability of doing mobile devices as well. This has no reflection on Google themselves or anyone outside of Baidu. And I feel that a lot of people just picked up and ran with it because it sounded like a very appealing statistic, like 50%. Wow, that's amazing. And currently now, as we're shooting this video, it is almost halfway through 2020, and I think everyone out there is aware that it's definitely not 50% of voice searches being conducted by all users. I don't think that's where we're heading off to, but I do feel that over time, especially within the next 12 months moving onwards, there will be increases in voice search, especially with more people working from home at this point. I think more people are going to be on their phones and devices at home. There will be that influx of voice searches, but over time, as people return back to work, I think there will be that time slot where during office hours, desktops will kind of rule, and then during out of office hours, as you see mobiles peak, I think mobile use will also generate more voice use, since there's a lot of that native voice assistance built into a lot of our mobile devices that we use every day.
Great. So, have you got any advice for marketing managers who are currently running an SEO strategy, and any considerations or things that they should be thinking about as it pertains to voice search and SEO?
Yeah, 100%. So voice search overall isn't something that's been relatively new per se, but there's a lot more things that, for example, Google are doing to make things easier for marketing managers and experts. So example, they got a schema markup called Speakable or Speak. I would need to double check that, but definitely it is a schema that's currently in beta mode. And what it does is basically it just helps mark up certain bits of information. So when people are speaking, definitely their search engines can pick up certain elements and provide a better search result. I also think another thing to look into is feature snippet results. So basically what a feature snippet is, for those who may not be aware, it's a little message, little answer box that appears in search results under specific query. And for a lot of those Google Home Hubs, Alexas, those native Google assistants, they normally tend to read out the information that are essentially in those little boxes. So definitely that's one thing you can look at optimizing. So you got two strategies that you can look into off the gate, but definitely as things change over time, there will be more opportunities for SEO and marketing managers overall.
Fantastic. Thanks for sharing those insights, Piotr. Anything else to add? Any closing words just before we wrap this up?
Yeah, definitely. There's a few things I want to cover quickly. Sure. I feel that overall, due to BERT rolling out late last year, definitely Google, as you can see, their technology, they're basically encouraging people to speak in longer sentences, to speak more naturally. And Google's also stated that they can understand context and content a lot better. And I feel that Google's already kind of ahead of the curve in terms of understanding where users' behavior will be in the future. And definitely, I see that more and more people will probably start to use voice search more naturally over time. Good way to kind of look at it is when desktops and mobiles were around, or they still are, but when desktops were more of the preferred method of search for a lot of people, definitely desktops were kind of king. And then as mobile phones became more powerful, more smarter, more and more people do tend to use mobile phones a lot more. And it's definitely just the norm. And I feel that Google's will definitely be seeing that with voice search. And I feel that they've kind of already started to organize things in such a way to prepare for that. And that's one really interesting factor to look into is what Google is doing. People will eventually catch on and start using voice search. That's one thing to look into. And another thing is looking at the way influencers kind of on social media tend to popularize the use of voice search. A perfect example would be Gary Vee. He is a fairly big social media influencer from the entrepreneur perspective, and he's stated many times that he used to use desktop computers for everything, and now he's using mobile devices to run, shoot, edit things basically, and provide content and value to the users. And a lot of these things they keep saying is mobile is the future, and basically as mobile becomes the future, I'm sure voice will definitely become more of a companion with that. And a perfect example of that would be the latest Google Pixel Buds and other wireless headphone devices for Samsung. So many of those features are more more designed for the ease and convenience of voice searching and just navigating using your voice. I just feel that definitely over time you're going to start to see more and more people adopt with it. And then this is another little prediction that I have is you're going to start to see in Google Search Console that now they provide mobile, desktop search results. Eventually they're going to be providing voice, in my opinion, in the future as well.
Wouldn't surprise me at all. And like we said at the beginning, the easier this is for people to do, the more adoption we're likely to see. So yeah, great insights, mate. Thanks for sharing. And that kind of wraps up today's video. So catch you all next time.
See ya. Have a good one.